Half of our concert. Run, Aaron, run. The second half of our concert, we're going to be playing a piece entitled Fanfare for the Common Man by Aaron Copland. This work was written in 1942 during World War II. The Cincinnati Symphony Orchestra asked several composers to write music honoring those that were serving in the war, and a lot of composers dedicated their pieces to soldiers or specific military groups. And Copland wanted to recognize the everyday people, the common man, whose efforts and sacrifice were just as important at home and on the front lines. The piece premiered during World War II in 1943. Fanfare for the Common Man has been played at presidential inaugurations, memorials, and even in space. As you listen, imagine the courage and spirit of ordinary people coming together to do extraordinary things. Please enjoy Aaron Copland's Fanfare for the Common Man. Our next piece is National Emblem March. It was written in 1902 and has become a staple at patriotic celebrations across the country. An interesting fact, the composer, E. Bagley, actually tossed the original score that he was writing in the trash because he was just frustrated with it and he didn't like it. And some of his bandmates rescued it out of the trash can, secretly rehearsed it. I believe they were on a train, secretly rehearsed the song, and then surprised him by performing it at the next concert. I always think that's amazing. It might have been something that we never would have had they not rescued that out of the trash. It quickly became his most famous work, and actually was also a favorite of John Philip Sousa, who called it one of the best American marches ever written. Enjoy this rousing American classic, the National Emblem March. Our next piece is a special tribute to the brave men and women who have served and continue to serve in our nation's military. Armed Forces Salute features the official songs of each branch of the United States Armed Forces, the Army, the Marine Corps, the Navy, the Air Force, and the Coast Guard. It does not include Space Force. Sorry. As each song is played, we invite those in the audience who have served or you're currently serving in that branch to stand and be recognized. If you have a family member who has served, please feel free to stand in their honors as well. We are honored to show our gratitude and appreciation for these heroes as we perform Armed Forces Salute. Before we introduce our last song, I just want to say thank you. It's been a wonderful season. We truly have an amazing town that we live in, and it's awesome that we have the tradition of having, music out here. So thank you guys for being faithful. Some of you have been here every single week, and it was some hot ones here. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you to the City Band. We truly are privileged. We have players in our band that have from young high school students all the way up to people who have played professionally, band directors, people that have played literally all over the country and the world. So we're just honored. Thank you guys so much. We hope you enjoy our last song. For our final piece tonight, we're excited to present a true American classic, The Stars and Stripes Forever by the March King, John Philip Sousa. This march is not only the official national march of the United States, but also one of the most famous and beloved patriotic pieces ever written. Sousa actually composed this spirited march on Christmas Day in 1896, and it quickly became a symbol of American pride and celebration. Tonight, I can't think of a more fitting way to end our tribute to the red, white, and blue. Thank you for joining us today and this entire season. Enjoy The Stars and Stripes Forever.